I recently visited Copenhagen for the first time, and when I'm visiting a new city, I always have to find out if there are any art supplies or stationery stores to visit. On my travels, I found 4 stores to visit, so I'm going to take you along with me and show you what they have to offer. Our first stop is Stelling, which is a stationery store located just behind Hay House, and it also sits in the shadow of this church, which has been converted into an art gallery. There is much to see outside as they put some of their wares out under these awnings in these lovely wooden boxes. And as this shop sits on a corner site, if you are approaching from the other side, you will see this beautiful giant fountain pen, so you know you're in the right place for stationery. I took a moment to take in the facade, which had this beautiful gold lettering, and then headed on into the shop to see what they had. They have a pretty extensive range of art supplies here, including coloured pencils, pastels and paints. So if you're looking for any kind of art supplies, they probably have some of the range here. They also had a really good range of pens, so if you're looking for writing tools, this is a great place to stop by. Of course, they had a range of paper for you to write, paint or draw on. Here they had some Copic markers. In this section they had the more standard office stationery, as well as displays for each different brand. As you can see here, they have a lot of Uniball pens. For notebooks, they had these beautiful covered notebooks, as well as more standard style notebooks. They had a really good range of field notes, if that is your go-to notebook. And they did stock Penco or High Tide branded notebooks as well, and a small selection of the famous Penco clampy clip. If you're a fan of the Leuchtturm notebooks, they had a big display here with lots of different colours and different types of paper. I've not used this notebook myself, but I know there are very big fans out there. I was very tempted by this display of colourful pens. I do have some of these at home already, but it's always tempting to add another colour to the collection. And as you can see, it is quite a large shop, so if you are the kind of person who likes to spend a lot of time looking around stationery and art supplies shop, you might want to put some time aside for this one. At the back here in this smaller room, you can see it's more of a premium area, so there are display cases with fountain pens which you can ask the staff to get out for you. I really love how it's decorated in here with the lovely drawers and that fountain pen on the wall. There are a lot of pens on display, so if you are a pen fiend, you will love it here. Here there were some covers for notebooks, as well as pen rolls and other accessories for your beautiful fountain pens. They also had some inks and quill type pens over in this corner, and I love this box of nibs. Stelling is a traveller's notebook and traveller's company stockist, so if you are looking for this brand in Copenhagen, you should come here. I was just picking these up and having a look at the prices and comparing them to what they are back home. Copenhagen as a traveller destination is notoriously expensive, so I think if you are looking to buy a traveller's notebook, it is probably going to be about the same price here as it is wherever you've come from. But I did find that they had some of the New Year accessories that I hadn't seen in other stores or had sold out elsewhere. And if you need to get a refill, it's great to know that you can come here and grab one while you're travelling. They didn't have many of the leather covers because I visited during a time where there's been a shortage of covers, but they had a nice display and a nice range of inserts here. Our next store is Tutein and Koch, which is another art supply store and another very big store, so again you need to set some time aside if you love to look around shops like this. In here they had an amazing display of paints and paintbrushes, and it was just really lovely to look around at all of the wonderful things that they had in this store. Now, I'm not a huge artist, so I only dabble, so I can't explain everything you're looking at, but I wanted to make sure that I took in a lot of footage just to show you what they have available. Here they had this amazing pen wall which was so beautifully organised. And they had lots of canvases, sketchbooks and papers that you could touch and feel, which I feel is so important nowadays where so much is online. I love to pull things out and look at them. At the moment I'm also kind of obsessed with these grid pouches. I have so many on the go at the moment. They're just so handy for organising all bits and pieces of stationery. On this wall they had lots of lovely portfolios and folders to keep your artwork safe. and lots of tools and rulers and glues and just everything you need to do whatever craft or arts that you're doing. In this section, it's more about the pencils, so there's coloured pencils and graphite pencils. And we also get a range of notebooks. So again, you have a Leuchtturm display as well as other notebook brands on display here. Here the stock looked a little bit more full than the last shop, but if you can't find it in one, you can probably find it in the other. I also appreciate when they have them out so you can flick through them. I find with brands like this, they're always shrink wrapped, the notebooks, and sometimes it's rare to find an actual notebook out that you can touch and feel and look at the pages. Personally, I'm quite fussy about how light or dark the lines or grid are in a notebook, so I always appreciate being able to look at it in person and open it up. And here I am again, tempted by the colours, but I resisted and I didn't buy one of these notebooks on this day. I also really liked on these shelves where you could buy individual pencils from different brands, and you could also buy boxes of pencils. I just really like the variety in all of these graphite pencils and sharpeners. You can get the perfect pencil for exactly what you need. I was really drawn to the imagery of these Viking pencils, which are a Danish brand and have been around since 1914. I just found it to be quite striking. After looking at some more pencils, it was time to move on to our next shop. This shop wasn't actually on my list, it just happened to be at the base of my hotel, and it is the Vesterbro office supply shop. I stayed here and this was the entrance to my hotel, and so as fate would have it, my hotel had a stationery shop in it, which was just amazing. This is one of those sort of local office supply shops that I just love to come across because they are usually packed to the rafters with all the stationery that you could ever want or need. And there was a constant stream of people coming in because they also provided copying services and printing services, and just people who worked locally who needed to come in and grab something so they could continue with their work and get on with it. There were basically two shops joined together with a passageway in the middle. And if you're looking for some Danish flair for your scrapbooking or your journaling, this was a great place to stop. As you can see, they had flags. They also had some stickers, which I did pick up a few. And they have these more sort of generic sticker ranges, which are great for kids, but also really good for journaling. There was so much more in here than I had expected, so it was really nice to be able to buy a few things here and contribute to this independent shop. They had masses of notebooks, sort of school notebooks, as well as notebooks for grown-ups, and lots of different coloured papers and markers, and here they even had some spray paint. I do also find it interesting how shops like this choose to lay out their space, as they offer so many products and have to spread it out in a very small area. I think if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll probably find it here. There was just so much variety and I really enjoyed having a look around. They had loads of pens and markers and craft supplies. I think there was some glitter that we just passed, paints if you need some acrylic paints, and this wonderful wall of pens. There were just so many to look at, and they had little pads of paper so you could try them as well. At the front of the store here they had some notebook displays, including Clairefontaine notebooks and of course the Moleskine notebooks. They had quite a lot of those. Here they had a lot of glues and clips and tapes, and I found that there was a lot of practical stuff but also some more decorative things mixed in. I'm really glad to have found this store, and I would recommend it if you are staying or visiting the area. Our last stop is Kartotek, which has a lot of self-produced products which they design and illustrate, which are very, very cute. Although this shop is quite small, there are so many little bits of stationery to look at. I loved all of these little rubber stamps. I feel that they are more aesthetic here, so you're looking at things that are cute but also very pretty and very sort of Scandi style. They had lots of stickers here. They also had other brands of stickers, not just their own, so they had Midori and Suatelier stickers. It's such a beautifully designed little space, which I could have spent so much longer than I did, but I had other touristy things to get to. They also stocked the Legami Milano range of stationery, which is very cute for kids, and the little diary stickers from Midori, which I already have a few sheets of. They produce their own range of paper products, including notebooks and notepads and planners. So if you're looking to get organized, this could be a place where you could treat yourself and grab all of the tools that you need. The paper quality was very nice and everything seemed to be of very good quality. Of course, I was drawn to these colourful pens along the wall and lots of stickers, of which I already have many. They do have some Copenhagen specific products, so if you're looking for something that is more of a souvenir, you could grab that here. And if you really love erasers, there were lots of different types. I think this would also be a great place to look for gifts. On this sticker stand, they also had some Danish and some Copenhagen themed stickers. So if you're doing a travel journal, I would recommend looking here as well. And they did have some pens which I had not seen before, so it was nice to be able to test those out while I was here. In the room towards the back, they have even more stationery. Some of this was Japanese stationery that I had seen before on my travels. But I always find it interesting to see what shops select from the vast range of Japanese stationery available to see what is popular in different countries. There were some really cute tote bags, but I already have too many. They also had a good range of decorative washi tapes. So this brings us to the end of the stationery shops and art supply shops in Copenhagen. I hope you've enjoyed coming along to see what is on offer here. I really enjoyed my trip to the city, although it's quite expensive, so I don't think I'll be back anytime soon, but in the future I would absolutely love to return to Copenhagen and to these shops. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing and leave me a comment down below on which shop was your favourite. I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.